Hey, hold on a second. There seems to be a squirrel over there that I need to go chase. 1 second. I'm kidding. Good morning. There's 4 letters living in my head right now. It starts with an A, it ends with a D, and it goes into HDA. But what? Yeah. Anyways, good morning, everybody. Hey, fear doesn't lie in the dark. No, it doesn't. It hides in the little choices. It hides in your brain. You know, the way you spend your minutes when no one's actually paying attention. Yeah, it's like those days you're in the gym and you're like, hey, there's nobody here watching me right now. No, it's okay. That's why we're throwing the extra hour test out there today, because the truth is your answer to the question reveals exactly what's holding you back. Yes, this morning we're going to encourage you, empower you, and help you get up and get after it, because this is the kind of real talk that exposes what matters most so that you can align your daily actions with audacious goals. But hey, first, let's get the drum roll, please. The big show starts right now, because welcome to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Jon, and Friends, your live morning show for men who want more than a quick motivational quote. Nah, no motivation here, just good, inspiring, fun conversation. Your daily accountability partner, here to help you start your day right now, with laughter, insights, and entertaining conversation. Hey, quick reminder, guys, smash the like button, subscribe, drop your thoughts in the comments. We actually read them. Yeah, true story. We got an awesome community down there. We're going to get to the community in a few moments. This is an R-rated, sometimes X-rated experience. So the kids are in the room, either shuffle them out or toss on some headphones. And hey, if you're using AirPods 3, you can put the translation on and you can hear us talk in different languages. And don't you dare hit that snooze button. You're going to be 9 minutes behind the guy who doesn't. That's 9 minutes you will never, ever get back. If you're a snoozer, go somewhere else. Different channel for that. Here's what's on deck today, guys. We're going to kick things off with look what's shaking in the world this morning. Preston and Sterling are bringing the conversation desk to life. We're going to get into guys, Airbnb is not what you think it is. No, we're going to talk about it coming up on the show. AI predicting over 1,000 diseases up to 20 years in advance. True story. We're not talking science fiction right now. Yeah, predicting thousands of diseases coming 20 years in the future. We're going to talk about it up in the show. And I'm sure Johnny has a peptide for that. Yeah, Uber says drones are delivering food to your door. And in true Elon Musk fashion, he's demanding staff submit. We're going to talk about management. What have you accomplished today? What have you accomplished this week? Have you accomplished anything? Because Elon's setting the rules on new management tools from Elon Musk. Google's making Discover a little more social. Oh, you've been to Machu Picchu? I have. I climbed it. Yeah, it might be at a risk of losing its title. What's the title? We're talking about it coming up on the show today. And then from there, we're going to swing into some of the big topics today in the morning loop, where today's big question is, how fast can you really see results in the gym? We kind of teased it last week, a little bit yesterday, but we're going to talk about it more today. Forget the hype, forget the Instagram timelines. We'll break down the truth from training timelines and what realistic progress actually looks like. On center stage, we're going to spend some time on X. We sure are. And then on Deep Dive, the accountability hack that drove the success of this show and how you can use it to fuel yours. Morning Loop Reloaded takes a bizarre turn. I got a ridiculous topic, not even going to tease it. I'm just going to tell you it's coming up in the second hour. Yeah, true story. It's a ridiculous story. And then, hey, what's the difference between a buddy and a true accountability partner? We're going to talk about that as well in the morning, folks. Finally, Community Corner. We're going to celebrate the folks with glue, not eating it. We ate glue on Wednesday. Yeah, another true story. YouTube, LinkedIn, Substack, gluing it all together, talking about it. Let's get this rolling on the show. What? Huh? Yeah, what? Let's get the show rolling. The Morning Loop, Jimmy, Melissa. Jimmy's on the buttons, Melissa's on the words, and the show, it starts right now.
Dawn run's done. Time to bring the energy back inside the lab.
Keith, Jon, Marty, Jimmy, Melissa, welcome back, crew.
Happy Friday, lab community. We see ya.
And Lady Drew, hope those connectivity issues are finally sorted.
Keith, Jon, Marty, let's get this thing started.
Remember, you guys can join the show with us live right now, and you can bring your shoes to the dance floor and have a dance and join the show. 431-300-3005. Phone, text, or leave a voicemail. Yeah. Come say hi in the comments. Vertical stream is happening. I got the accent out today. I'm dinging the accent with the boys. And if you're not watching the show live, why the fuck not? Yep, true story. Good morning, Johnny. Good morning, Marty. What a shaking. Johnny Marty's joining us from Houston today. He's up a couple of hours earlier. I'm just, look at his eyes. He's all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, Anderson.
Yeah, I'm looking at that. It's definitely a different background.
He looks
What's
like
up, guys?
he's next to you, actually, like a black wall there. And
Yeah, I'm on the other side of Johnny, man.
oh, my goodness. What are you not telling me, brother? What are you not Marty, good to see you, man.
What's going on, man?
How was your trip to Houston?
It's been good. I only been here less than 24 hours, so I haven't really done much. But we're going to check out some gyms, some malls.
Nice.
I got a pretty packed day today, so I'll update you tomorrow. Well, I guess Monday.
That's the stuff, Johnny, a 30-something-year-old does. We check out the malls and the gyms.
Yeah. I mean, what are you there for, brother?
Well, my college teammate is here. He lives here with his family, and I just found out another one of my college teammates lives here. So we just doing stuff to catch up. Really,
That's awesome, man. That's
yeah.
And
So when you say check out the mall, what are you going to do when you check out the mall?
So
I understand check out the gyms, go get a workout.
Yeah, they have so the gym I'm going to is like one of the best gyms for content creators in the country.
Yeah.
So
really?
The mall, they have one of the biggest malls in the country here, the Galleria. So
Yeah.
I've been there before, but it's been probably 12 years since I've been there. So I just want to check it out.
So Keith, when he says go to check it out the mall, he's not going to fucking walk around and hang out in the mall. He's going to check out a spectacle.
Oh,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm not just going to the mall. Like,
Going
yeah,
to check
guys,
out the mall sounds like you're going to fucking try to pick up chicks or something, dude.
No, it's like a big, well-known mall. Yeah.
I saw Holroyd's comment. Good morning, Adam. Good morning, Matt Roof. B Drive, Sully, Lady Drew. Holroyd says, I don't think I've been to a mall in years. And I'm thinking last time I went to a mall I was looking for chicks. Just walking around.
No.
Remember Johnny? Remember Johnny?
Well, in my generation, you ain't got to do that. You just pick your phone up.
Well, that was Keith and John's generation, which is we had to go to the mall and walk in circles to see if there's a girl walking on the other side that would notice you. And you look back and like, okay, I think she looked back at me. Right, Holroyd? Do you remember those mall walks? Yeah, that's exactly it. The mall.
No, sir.
Marty.
We ain't doing that.
Johnny, how was your was that Marty?
That's. I'm glad I caught that for you, brother, because everybody was thinking that. I was like, my man's not going to fucking browse the mall. There's got to be something going on there. So I asked the question. I said, I got to clear this up because the audience is thinking the same thing I was. I got you, baby.
Well, Anderson, look, he's all sharp. He's got his hair cut. Like he's looking as handsome as ever these days.
Yeah, my first thought was, man, if you're going to go hang out at the mall, you should have put your fucking bros back in, man.
You know what I love?
Why is that, John? Why is that, Johnny?
Well, that makes more sense going and hang out at the mall.
Okay.
You know what's fun about this whole thing is that such an innocuous comment, Johnny, Marty, like I just went to the mall, has turned into a 4 or 5 minute dissection of going to the mall.
Well, that's what this show's all about.
I know. That's what John Marty sometimes is like, okay, do I say this? Is Billis going to lean into this conversation? Is Johnny going to pick on this? And Marty's like, do I even talk about this? Because I know these two motherfuckers, they're going to go up one side, down the other.
Well, I know every time I open my mouth, Johnny's going to find something. Like,
well, I mean, because I'm one of two things. I'm either protecting you or I'm trying to get you to reach your potential. One of the two.
That's awesome.
I appreciate you, Johnny.
That's awesome. Hey, Johnny, how was your pickleball game yesterday? So, Marty, we're going to move from the mall. Here's what you have to look forward to, brother, in about 20 years. You're going from the mall to the pickleball game. So, Johnny, how was pickleball? And Marty, and he got brand new rackets. So I know he was pretty excited about that. Johnny, how were the brand new rackets at the pickleball game yesterday?
It fucking rained all day.
What? In San Diego? Well, in Southern Cal?
Well, dude, yeah, we're out in I mean, it was actually pretty cool because we're out in the desert, so it's
middle of nowhere.
It's like monsoon out here when it rains.
Oh man.
I saw a headline today, John, when I woke up just doing my morning news read. It said the headline was California yesterday was actually Florida. Like the way the temperature was.
It was raining down at the coast too. It was raining everywhere.
Yeah, I guess the humidity, and I'll use my word gross. Apparently it was a gross day in California yesterday. They said it was like, what the hell, are we in Florida? Because I've been to Florida. There's some days in Florida you're like, oh my God, get me out of this weather.
Well, it's kind of, it becomes so far and few between in between. It's kind of welcome.
Yeah, I guess. I
used
guess.
to live when I lived up in fucking Oregon, man. Fucking 9 months without seeing the sun.
I don't mind that. I'll be honest. I don't mind. So then what the hell did you do in the rainy day? Did you stay inside, get some work done? Did you get some? I got to think you did work.
Of course. What the fuck?
I know. So what did you accomplish yesterday? Actually, here's a good segue in a few minutes. What did you accomplish yesterday?
God damn, yesterday was a busy fucking day.
Marty putting him on the spot.
No, I'm just trying to think. Like, I remember I got done with the day and I was like, Jesus Christ, I didn't see this one coming. I was like, I would have never got all this done if we went and play pickleball. I mean, I was like fucking burning because when I was even just a skosh late. I had a really cool new couple come on board, and so I had to do my first call with them in the afternoon, and I was at that call went a long expect, so I was even a little late for my time with Terry. So I was like, what the fuck, man? I don't know how I got myself so overscheduled. But I mean, we were yesterday was life expectancy work, and Jesus Christ, you don't want to be late for that.
No. Well, at least you can negotiate time with that. You can shorten it to 6 minutes from 8, or from 10 to 8, or 3 to 2.
Brother. That doesn't work in my world.
I know.
Come on. That's like, well, I just fucking shorten my workout. No,
you got to keep your priorities, man. Priorities are priorities.
Well, and then it's not just about you. You got another party that's got an expectation. It normally goes down.
This is true. You know what? I found a ridiculous topic. I got to find. Maybe Johnny. I got to make sure Marty's here for this one for next week. We're gonna talk. Hey, Petro Charlie, ears up on this one. I just feel like you would have a contribution for this one. Petro comes in with the mall. How nostalgic. We're gonna talk about. Actually, here's a word for both you guys. Next week, we're gonna talk about intercrural sex. Marty, do you know what that is?
No clue.
Johnny, do you know what that is?
No, I'm sitting here kind of racking my brain. Say the word again.
Intercrural sex and the benefits of it.
Cural.
Yeah.
No idea.
Marty smirk.
I was thinking I must have heard that word wrong is what I was thinking.
Coming up next week on the show, we're talking intercrural sex, aka the benefits of dry humping. Yeah, next week. Mornings in the lab. True story.
Is that what intercrural sex is? Dry humping?
Yeah, it's apparently a lot of benefits for folks that are going through stages in life. Yeah.
Well, I don't doubt that, but why go as far as to give it some name nobody understands?
Well, just go. Well, so I figured that once I told you what it was all about, I knew there was going to be a quote coming into your mouth, something along the lines of, "Oh, so we're fucking talking about dry humping." Yes, John, talking about dry humping.
Brother, if you got to do that shit, you got to reevaluate life.
Well, think about it. We all started off fucking dry humping. I mean, let's be honest. How many times did you fucking dry hump a pillow or something else? No, don't be scared. You can be honest.
It's awesome,
Marty. You get some dry humping on a pillow.
To be honest, man, I don't know if I did that.
And then, hold on. Are you also going to say that you don't fucking jerk off?
I'm not going to say that. I'll be the first one to tell you.
My man. Okay, good. I was going to say, if you meet that guy, like, I don't do that.
Johnny,
you not fucking breathe either.
Johnny, I got a favorite pillow.
I wouldn't surprise me a bit.
Yeah. I actually had a lucky condom too. I used it over and over and over. Didn't get anybody pregnant. Yeah, when I was a teenager, it was lucky.
You'd use it on yourself? I mean, who's gonna put that fucking thing back on? Jesus Christ!
What's awesome is that we're 20 minutes into the show, and we talked about two topics this morning that were nowhere near the conversation when I woke up today: malls and dry humping. Yeah.
I'm sure that happens all the time, though.
Melissa's rolling her eyes going, fuck, man. But hey, let's do a little transitioning to what's going on in the world right now. Sterling Preston, they have been getting after it. I know they're pretty active with a bunch of stuff. Sterling Preston, what are we talking about today at the conversation desk, boys?
Everyone wants results yesterday.
But the real question is, how fast can you actually see them in the gym? Stick around to find out. Santorini's still top of my list. What about you, Nation? What's your bucket list spot? The crew's got the top 10. We'll share them on center stage.
Success doesn't come from chance. It comes from one accountability hack we'll share in the deep dive.
Did you know WWII pilots made ice cream at 30,000 feet?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll scoop that story in Morning Loop Reloaded.
Yeah.
A buddy will let you off easy,
Yeah.
but an accountability partner will keep you honest. We'll break it down in Morning Focus. But before all that, let's dive into today's current events.
Keith, want to throw a headline our way?
Do thank you, Sterling and Preston. Hey, I'm thinking we're going to talk right off the bat, guys, about the Airbnb conversation. I suspect everybody tuning in right now, including myself, John, and Marty, have all thought of Airbnb as one thing, right? It's a place where you go and rent somebody's room or somebody's house. Well, dudes, it's actually changing quite significantly. Airbnb CEO Brian Chesky announced at the Skift Global Forum this week that Airbnb will launch a dedicated hotel booking feature inside its main app.
Say that one more time.
Yes, I think Sterling and Preston have something for this. Sterling, Preston, you think you guys got something for this?
Homes tab gets rebranded as Stays.
Yeah.
And a new carousel will show hotels right alongside home rentals.
They say the focus is boutique hotels and B&Bs.
Starting in pilot cities like New York, then expanding worldwide.
Keith, John, there's obviously a big difference between a boutique hotel and Airbnb stay. Could this move dilute hotels' perceived value?
Well, it's fascinating to me that they've launched this separate app there. We're just trying some new stuff here, guys. We're working on bringing the technology to life to keep enlightening the spirits of Sterling and Preston here. So it's fascinating to me, isn't it, that you'd think Airbnb was one thing, but they're going side on side, John and Marty, with the hotel business.
Well, I mean, it's a good business is always going to pivot,
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. And so it's funny you said that, John, because that's exactly why I've put it on the table today. Because I think typically it wouldn't be something we would talk about, but I suspect everybody who's listening on the show right now is thinking that Airbnb is one thing. But like, for example, like the Homes tab on the app is actually changing it to Stays. And it's going to show you hotels alongside home rentals. And to your point, Johnny, I think the reality was, it was like, hey, wait a minute. We got a big position in this marketplace. We can grab some extra revenue. Let's do some partners with hotel chains, and let's help sell their extra inventory. It actually makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
I'm not surprised at all, because when I went to New York a couple months ago, I booked a hotel off of Airbnb.
Oh, you did?
So yeah, I always book hotels on Airbnb. So I'm not like, this isn't something new. I've been booking hotels off Airbnb for a while now.
Oh, no kidding! I didn't know that. Okay, I didn't. I wasn't aware of that. Maybe you were part of a trial group or something, or because I know this. And maybe they were testing and piloting it, and that they just recently made this announcement. I'll tell you what else has been a big announcement. I know we kind of dabble in AI on the show. Not dabble. We talk about it because it's in the middle of the world right now quite a bit. But one of the benefits that humanity is going to see from AI is its ability in the bio and the health world. Right. Well, we finally are making some progress in this, and this is actually quite fascinating. Sterling and Preston have been working on this yesterday. Researchers in Europe, and guys, just do me a favor. When I'm done talking, Sterling and Preston are going to introduce this, so just hang tight for your comments. Researchers in Europe unveiled an AI model, so not like ChatGPT, John, like chat bullshit or Grok bullshit. We're talking like a full-on, pretty heavy model here, focused on health. Researchers in Europe unveiled an AI model that can predict risk for 1,000+ diseases up to 20 years in advance.
Oh, say that again?
The ability to predict over 1,000 diseases 20 years ahead.
It's called Delphi-2M, published recently in Nature.
It's one of the broadest applications of generative AI the world has seen in healthcare. Trained on hundreds of thousands of patients over decades and validated on millions more across Europe.
70% accuracy on 10-year heart attack forecasts.
Keith, John, would you trust an AI prediction 20 years out?
So think about that. It's not just randomized data. It's hundreds of thousands of humans and so forth. And Johnny, somebody analyzing your data, or Johnny or Marty, somebody analyzing an AI analyzing your data, predicting your life 20 years out in advance. Thoughts on that?
Well, but it can only predict what it has enough data on. I mean, it's probably looking at all sorts of shit, lifestyle,
100%,
age. So if you fit into the masses, then it's pretty fucking easy to predict. I can predict some of that shit too.
So
70% of people are going to have fucking diabetes in the next 5 years. You know.
So I think I think where it's a little different is that so you're right. It's going to map lifestyle factors. So over 400,000 biobank participants, and they validated on almost 2 million patients. So this is not just a drop in the bucket. This has been pretty significant.
Well, I mean, it's clearly taken patterns that
yes,
seeing right now and just projecting it forward in a way that our minds can't compute.
You're correct. And I think the one that stood out for me was this 70% accuracy. And you know, John, because we talk about this every single day, like for example, like the ultra processed food bullshit, right? Like what this is saying is that if you're living a certain lifestyle and you continue it, I can predict 70% you're going to have a heart attack. So here's your choice, mister. Keep living how you're living. You're going to have one. 7 out of 10 chances you're going to have one or not. And we can talk with anecdotes, but now I think there's evidence that you can put in front of somebody and say, Marty, you keep doing this dumb shit. This is what will happen to you. Marty,
that makes sense. I would trust it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I trust AI for a lot of other things. So I don't think it'll be inaccurate at all.
Here's what's interesting though. I don't know how many people would make different decisions. So for example, here in this country, if you buy a pack,
they don't.
I know.
We know the stats.
I know. You buy a pack of cigarettes in this country, and on the pack of cigarettes is the biggest pictures of you can imagine of lung disease and just people dying, which is saying, hey, if you're smoking this is what's going to happen to you. And I guess, John, we all know the risks of the lifestyle we live.
Dude, I mean, I have someone that I know someone from college.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, totally healthy when we were young, just fucking put his lifestyle in such a place where he's a fucking type 2er now. And he just kept letting it happen. Yeah. He knew it was coming.
Yes.
It's just like people, I don't know. I mean, it's like the idea that people know that people just don't have the fucking, they're too, I would say, people won't get out of their comfort zones. Well, they get so stuck inside their comfort zones.
Yes,
they end up with all this They end up with all the same shit.
Yes. Yeah. No, it's absolutely true. Marty, comments.
And I was just going to agree with Johnny. You know, I know one of my peers. You know, recently he's had 2 emergency scares. Like he had to get rushed to the hospital.
Oh man, yeah.
And he's still not doing anything about it. And we 32. You know.
Yeah, and he's 2. You think after the first one that'd be enough.
And both were this year, you know, within the past year at least. So,
dude, I lost a cousin to a heart attack at 38 purely because of lifestyle. And I watched it. True story. Like I watched him deteriorate. And then when I don't want to sound dismissive and rude, but when I heard about it, John, Marty, I was like, oh yeah. And I don't want to sound like I wasn't empathetic, but Marty, it was like you could see the writing on the wall of the life the guy was living, and you're like, all right, the guy's not going to. And true enough, 38 years old, passed out of a heart attack. You guys, 38 years old.
Yeah,
it's too young, man.
It just doesn't make any sense. But this is unfortunate. This is where we live, and this is the dumb shit people do.
That's right. Speaking of dumb shit, Marty, you've been to Machu Picchu, haven't you? For some reason, I believe you have been in Peru.
I haven't been there.
No, you were in Dubai. Okay, I thought you'd been to Machu. So I climbed Machu Picchu. I did the trek along Peru. And John, I don't believe you have been there to Peru to Machu Picchu. You're familiar with it, though, are you not? One of the 7 wonders. Yeah. So it's actually it's being threatened with losing its status of a 7 wonder status because they're just not spending any time preserving it. Over tourism, poor conservation, corruption and ticketing, social unrest. And I threw it on the table because I have been there, and I just got to say this too out loud. I'm not surprised because I saw it kind of going to shit, whatever it was 4 or 5 years ago. And I say going to shit, you know, when you just see things going in a certain way and you're like, oh, that's really not going in a great way. And I think it was a number of years ago where they were talking about there's so many people there in Machu Picchu where it was shifting because the ground was too heavy. So just over tourism, right?
Hold on. Shifting. The ground was too heavy?
No, I'm sorry. People were like, there's so many people where like some of the structures were crumbling or moving because there were so many people within this confined area at Machu Picchu.
You're talking about the earth or their structures?
No, the structures were
okay.
being
I was gonna
affected
say,
because
I've never heard of the earth having something be too heavy. Jesus Christ.
Thank you. No.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I mean, some of these areas get so overpopulated so fast.
Yes.
The infrastructure can't keep up.
Yes. Yeah.
Didn't you say Mount Everest is like that too? Like they got a lot of trash on there or something? Didn't you say that?
I had been to Everest,
the base camp. Then that base, because they got to trek all that shit up there, and means they got to trek it back out, and people don't do it.
That's it. That's exactly it. Hey, so something else I'm also fascinated by, and I like sharing fascinating stuff on the show with our audience. So the world's largest plane. I love airplanes. We've talked about enough on the show. Love them. So there is an airplane being built right now, which is going to be twice the size of a 747 or Antonov AN-124. Now,
that's a big fucking plane.
I know.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's
most people have never actually stood next to a 747. We pulled one of those one time.
Yeah,
a Japanese TV show. And those front fucking wheels, they look like kind of car tires. Those fuckers are up to your chin.
Hold on a second here, Marty. Just nonchalantly. Yeah, so we were in Japan and we pulled one of those motherfuckers. What was that, John?
Enough, it wasn't even in Japan. It was actually in California, but the Japanese TV show, they came here to film it.
Hold on, though. Just
has amazing stories, man. Yeah, Marty, just throw that in there, Johnny.
Just nonchalantly. So hold on, pack the fucking story up. So what did you say?
He said it.
Go ahead.
He said it. Hold on, real quick. He said it like, I pulled a regular plane, Keith pulled a Delta plane. Johnny pulled the 747.
I didn't say anything about you two.
No, but just the way that you delivered it in such a nonchalant way, like I'm talking about this big fucking airplane, and you're like, "Oh yeah, I was in Japan, and it's like you fucking walked up to some 747 and pulled it." And I'm like, "Hold on a second, I don't think I remember you telling us the story about pulling a fucking airplane." So hold on a second, Jon Andersen. You pulled an airplane. Where did you pull this airplane?
We pulled plenty of that was the first 747, but yeah, we pulled plenty of airplanes, dude. We pulled, sometimes they'll stick like the hardest ones that we did, they would stick like multiple fire engines together, right? So figure you got 3 fire engines butted up like a foot apart, but there's 10 feet of rope between each one, right? So you get the first one going, you got to get that fucker hauling ass so that it has enough momentum to get the second one started, right? Now you're pulling them both. You're fucking grinding because you're not speeding up anymore. And then the third one hits. By the time the third one hits, you're usually about 30 feet from the line. And that's like, that the air is fucking gone from the universe because you've got 30 feet to go and these things aren't moving. But yeah, we pulled all sorts of shit.
Oh, hold on. Fire engines too? So what do you mean? Were the fire trucks daisy chained to the airplane?
No, it was a different pull.
Oh, a different just another. Melissa put a comment in front of me. Yep, just another Tuesday. John, what are you doing?
Dude, the crazy part about the 747 story. Listen to this. This is fucking nuts. So basically, there was me. There's 5 of us. Yes. Me, my buddy Jesse Morunde, rested. He's passed away. Rest in peace. Mariusz Pujanowski from Poland, some French guy who shouldn't have fucking been there. They just wanted somebody from France. And then Jeff Dolan from Canada. And so we all pulled it. It was like a contest, see who could pull it, right? Well, somehow, some way, when Jeff is pulling, he's doing his pull, right? So as soon as we pull it, they get their footage, right? It's because it's just an exhibition, right? And now this big fucking thing's got to stop. So what happens is as soon as there's some sort of a sound, whistle or a fucking horn, and all these fucking dudes, these little Japanese guys wearing completely black, all you can see is their eyes because they don't want colors moving around in the fucking shots, right? They're running out with basically blocks of wood, and they're fucking putting the blocks of wood in front of the tires to stop this plane, right?
Seriously?
Well, keep in mind, think about this. If those fuckers aren't timed just right, and they don't all put the wood in front of those, because there's only 3 fucking wheels. Right? There's the front and the back too.
I know where you're going with it.
If think about it, if all 3 don't hit almost at the same time, then that the wheel that got there too early, it just jumps over that over that block of wood. So they're fucking going with Jeff, right? And Jeff finishes. One of the little fucking guys was sleeping at the wheel, didn't make it out there in time. The guy that in the front's trying to fucking time the whole thing because they had it all timed out. They threw it down, wasn't timed properly. The fucking plane just jumped these 3 fucking blocks. Jeff is still connected to this thing, right? Yeah. And then it's getting to the point on the runway where it's starting to fucking tip down. So like how water drains off, this thing's fucking picking up speed.
Come on.
No, dude, this is fucking straight shit. We were shitting in our fucking pants, right? And so, and Jeff is like, he's hooked up in a harness and he's fucking screaming, unhook me. He's trying to reach the back, unhook me, because he's trying to move with the plane.
Yes.
Otherwise, he's just going to get fucking dragged behind this thing.
Picking up pace slowly, but slowly, right?
Okay, so when we're pulling this thing, we have a lead rope, right? Which means they put a big tow truck out in front, right? Yeah, that's what they hooked the lead rope to. Dude, the fucking plane, it didn't go straight. It kind of curved off. One of the fucking motors hits that truck and just fucking scalped the top off of it. Took the cab completely off, right? So right about this fucking time, and keep in mind, Jeff is running out of space here because this whole thing is getting closer and closer to him. So thank God one of these little kamikazes goes fucking running out there. And basically one of them basically turned him around. The other one unhooked him and they pulled him out of the way. But it was a little touch and go there for a minute.
No kidding.
Yeah, it was because, that's the thing with that type of shit. I mean, when something goes wrong, people get hurt.
Well, duh.
Yeah. I mean, if you have an equipment failure, it's fucking hammer time.
Have you seen anything like that?
No, we never even, when you're dealing with a big production like that, we just, especially when it's TV, they got so many people there. They put so much effort. We never even think about it. It's if you're doing an exhibition for some fucking podunk, then you're looking around and go, okay, is this guy fucking ready? But when it's a production, this is just, they put so much effort and money in it. You would never think that something like this would happen. There's one mistake by one person.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. You're hanging out with Keith, John, and Marty here on Mornings in the Lab. John's just telling us a story, and it's funny, Holroyd's got a comment here. Planes, trains, and trucks. Strongmen pull all kinds of stuff. Yes. And it's funny, Marty, because when Johnny brings it up, it's just, I think to Adam's comment, it's just the world of a strongman, eh? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was just one Tuesday. We just got up and we just decided to carry a bridge across the state. Oh,
well, I mean, fuck you when you have these conversations that, we get to going to North Korea.
Yeah. I love it.
Walking out in front of 50,000 people. It all kind of fits in the same realm.
I love it. When's the last time so here's a true story. When's the last time you did something significant like that? Like a truck?
Here's a true question.
I'm sorry, true question. Thank you. Yeah. When's the last time you did like a crazy event like that? Can you recall?
Oh, it's been a stretch.
I bet, eh?
Yeah, because like now I would never even attempt to like pull a truck because or a plane. It's been so long since I've done it. My tendons and my ligaments are not accustomed to that anymore.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you next. Like how difficult would be for a strongman to quote unquote come out of retirement to achieve?
Well, if you were only gone a few years, okay. I did exhibitions and shit when I was wrestling.
Yeah.
And that was, to go pull a truck or a, whatever, it's not that big of a deal if you're not that far removed. But fuck, last time I competed was 2008, talking almost 20 years ago.
Hey, so then here's a curious question for me, just because we all have interest in this topic.
Competed in strongman, forgive me.
Yeah. Hey, John, if Bret Hart wanted to get in the ring today, do you think he could sell a match, or do you think that his skills would have? I'm just picking a random guy. Like we saw Goldberg a few weeks ago. Like how difficult would it be for a performer to get back in the ring and put on a good match? Would you say?
Well, he would need somebody that could do the work.
Okay,
he'd need a good work.
I see.
Because he's not going to be doing the work.
He'd be selling your work. So, for example, if you were wrestling him and you had been around for a while, you guys would you would do the work, he would sell it, right?
Yeah, basically he's the star. They would have to have somebody who was also a star that was willing to make him look really fucking good. And keep in mind, it'd have to be another star because you couldn't bring some schlep in with him. It doesn't make sense.
Because it doesn't sell it. It doesn't sell it at all, does it?
Well, and Brett would never allow that. It's like, I'm not, you're going to put me in with someone's going to make me look good, or I'm not going to do it. You gotta, it's like protecting your image.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's funny, Johnny Goodtime has a question. Charlie says, how does one practice for that? Go to the airport?
Yeah, funny enough, dude, before you get into a place where, I mean, once you're actually doing it and you're recognized, like I could show up to almost any firehouse and they would be fucking stoked. They'd all sit there and watch me do it. They loved it. They'd have one guy in the engine and back up for me. You know, I had another buddy who had a semi tow company. So he always had big rigs, you know, like no problem with that too. But prior to that, like when I was trying to get on Front Street where I would get people that would want to help me. I used to have it was a Land Cruiser. And basically what I would do is I would set the fucking emergency brake, like on 2 clicks. Yeah. Which I didn't realize how helpful that was because you never got it moving. It was always pulling back. So once you started to pull heavy shit, well, once you get that going, there's a momentum that you build with it.
Yeah.
So that was actually that training that I did for that was, I mean, when I started off, so when I decided I was going to do this is actually kind of a fun little story. When I said, okay, fuck, I'm going to do this. I had no equipment. I didn't know anybody. So I didn't have a place to do it. So I started having equipment built. I needed a place. So a buddy of mine had a brother who had a ranch that was about 30 minutes north of where I lived. And his brother said, yeah, he can use that, you know, that front field. So this fucking front field was just grass about waist high.
Yeah.
So I went out there with a fucking sling blade and knocked down about 100 square feet. And I started having equipment delivered out there. I was fucking teaching myself to lift up fucking stones and flip tires in a fucking dirt field by myself.
We're actually talking to fucking Rocky right now. Like,
but this is the thing about it. When you actually get a training partner, then when you actually are lifting shit that's not covered in fucking dirt, it becomes pretty fucking easy.
I'm being serious because anybody who's seen the movie Rocky knows the training rhythm and knows what he did to get there, Marty, and all that, you know, because it wasn't just going to some world-class gym with all the greatest equipment. No, the guy fucking trained in a meat packing joint and Johnny's out in the field and lifting up wood. And we've seen all these old fucking movies, right? So that's fascinating, John. And it's funny because Adam Holroyd says, good time. Brian Shaw, another strongman, made friends with the local fire department. Clearly John did too. They would let him practice with the fire trucks. Others,
firemen for the most part, they're just sitting around the firehouse.
Yes.
It's a house that doesn't have a lot of action. They're looking for shit to do.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. You guys can join the show with us live right now. The vertical comments are going, or we're hopping on the vertical side of things. We're going to open up the phone lines in the second hour, 431-300-3005. Come say hi in the comments. And if you're not joining the show with us live, you're listening to us on demand, I invite you to get up, not hit the snooze button. Come join myself, Marty, and John every single day, 8 o'clock Eastern time, right here on YouTube, LinkedIn, and X. Hey guys, I got one more comment here I want to address here. Global, I see your comment there about Peru has evacuated around 1,600 tourists from that train station. I've been to that train station actually, and I've been to that community there that's in Machu Picchu. It is quite fascinating little place. Hey, Marty, so I'm looking at you, brother. So I think we had this conversation before, Marty. Did you not have, and maybe it wasn't you, did you not have Uber deliver food to you with a drone once before? Or John, was it you?
No, that wasn't me.
Ah, okay. So they're launching it. John,
that's a service that I don't use much.
So no, I know you don't, but I feel like one of you guys said you guys were in a situation or you were somewhere where it happened.
I saw the robot driving down the sidewalk.
Oh,
I didn't see the drone. I didn't see the drone.
Yeah, John, I wasn't suggesting you would order that. No, but I thought you were but anyways, Uber has announced yesterday that they are going to try again to start delivering a drone delivery across the US with Uber Eats. So, Marty, you're sitting in Maryland there and you're looking to get some grub. You open up the old Uber app, and in the backyard, the drone's going to drop the food. And so, Johnny, people are going to get ultra processed food and fast food delivered to their. And Marty, you're going to have a lot more years to make good content about big backs. Big back activity is not going away anytime soon.
My first thought is, okay, it's actually cool. You got this drone.
Yeah.
How does the fucking drone get the food?
Well,
the drone goes and hovers outside the restaurant. Some fucker walks out there, hooks the bag on basically hooks it up and boom.
Well, actually, I'll tell you how. So I listened to a fascinating. I wasn't going to go here, but I guess a nerd guy will go here. I listened to a fascinating podcast a couple weeks ago with the All In cast and Travis Kalanick, the guy who started Uber. So he's actually all in right now in the ghost food industry, the ghost truck industry. And
what does that mean?
Ghost kitchens, like
no
kitchens.
Driver.
Well, ghost kitchens. So kitchens that don't have a brand on the front of them, but have all the recipes and make you food and then deliver them. So you take a an industrial park, Johnny, in just an industrial park in San Diego. Okay. No seats, no front office, no front retail, no chairs, but in the back, there's a kitchen. And then back there's quote unquote 50 binders. Each binder has McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell, and every binder has all the recipes. And then that kitchen makes the food and then is delivered to you from McDonald's, but it's not the McDonald's restaurant. It's the kitchen from McDonald's, right? So they're called ghost kitchens. But the progression of that, and to answer your question, John, true story, is that they're actually building these self-contained, I'm going to call them robot trucks. That, John, you'd fill all the food ingredients into the truck, and the trucks would go to a neighborhood. They'd assemble Marty's order in the neighborhood. The top opens up, the drone flies out of the top, comes to Marty's house, delivers the food, goes back to the truck, and the truck moves. So it's like it's a self-contained unit with all the robotics inside of it to make all the food.
Dude. Crazy.
And that's what they're working on. Yeah. Because food assembly is one of the biggest expenses in the food business.
Oh, God, yeah.
Food assembly. Yes, food waste is, but if you can remove assembly, you follow me, right? The assembly of the food, right? So it's like, okay, I want to have a burger. Well, you get the ingredients. Well, who's going to put the burger together? There's a cost to do that, right? So just some fascinating shit, guys, that I'm really pleased to share with you today. Yeah, true story.
Yeah, it's almost hard to believe.
Yes,
how this shit works, man.
Yes.
I would have never. You could give me 1,000 guesses. I wouldn't even come close to that.
Oh yeah, there you go. So here's a management question, not a management question, a management discussion, which I threw on the table today. Melissa and I were talking about it with Sterling and Preston yesterday, which is around Elon and management and expectations of humans. And I guess Marty, I'm going to look to you, brother, because you just gone through a situation with your gym environment. So Elon has ordered all of his employees every Thursday to submit a report of what you've accomplished in the last 4 weeks. So what have you accomplished? So for example, Marty, what have you accomplished in the last 4 weeks? Write it down and give it to me. And I'm asking because I'm kind of curious how you feel about that. I'm not a fan of that because to me that's managing. If I'm hiring an adult, like John, so that's do role play. I'm hiring an adult and I hire Jon Andersen. I'm going to set some expectations and then I'm going to inspect them, but I'm not going to manage them. Because I've hired an adult.
Here's the question, though.
Sure.
I mean, I agree with you 100%.
Yes.
But is it really to manage, or is it to help enlighten the fact that these people are probably not as productive as they think?
Well, very good point of view. Just like yesterday, we talked about
that would be a total Elon thing. He's thinking that he's micromanaging. No, these people are going to write shit down and go, "Fuck, I got to submit this next month. I better get some more shit done."
Yeah, I was going to say, and if it's 4 weeks, that's enough time to get something significant done. A couple significant things done. Yeah.
It'll get rid of the productive procrastination is what it'll do.
Definitely will.
I like your point of view, John, because what it does is it enlightens the conversation I think you and I had yesterday or Wednesday, which was, we invited people, Marty, I'll bring it to speed. I invited somebody to just sit down and write down your entire day of everything that you do and see how much time you actually have left. And being as literal as, okay, I take 2 dumps in the day, that's 10 minutes. Okay, I gotta prepare my food, that's 5 minutes. I gotta get my 8 hours of sleep. And when you add all that up, you actually see how much time you actually don't have. You follow me, Marty?
And when you take and you use that time, like when you're all the things you just listed.
Yeah.
I got something in my ear.
Yes.
That's like mowing the lawn. For you, I'm learning.
Yes.
If it's something that it doesn't take my like true like conscious focus, if it's a bunch of subconscious acts, so to speak, I'm learning during that time.
Yeah, I'm when somebody says to me, Keith, you're on your phone all the time, what they don't recognize is that I'm actually not consuming content, I'm creating content, I'm learning. And I love the fact you keep using the word learning. I love that because that's what I'm really leaning into too, which is no, I'm learning. Like I'm actually learning. I'm not fucking watching TV right now.
Dude, my phone is business.
Yeah.
I don't entertain on my phone.
Marty, I see you smirking.
I'm right there with you. It could be like my mom or one of my friends, like, get off your phone. Yeah. But I'm always creating content, so I'm right there with both of y'all.
Yeah. Hey, Jimmy, I'm going to go to the extra hour test in a quick minute here. I'm just going to get to the comments. So, Jimmy, if you want to get that ready here, we're going to talk about the extra hour test, what your answer reveals about your priorities, since we're kind of leaning into this. But Holroyd has a comment here that says, we used to have to submit a weekly report of what we accomplished for my boss's boss's boss. Yeah, exactly. It was a waste of time and it fell apart quite quickly. And, trust your employees are doing what they need to. I really believe that if you're spending, and I agree with your point of view, Jimmy.
Well, it'll be interesting because if that is true the case, it really won't stick for a long time. It'll be an enlightenment drill, and then okay, you see everybody, you're not doing what you really think you're doing. Let's tighten up.
Yes, yeah. And actually, now that you say that aloud, it's actually what a wonderful exercise. Actually, when you onboard somebody, which is to say, I'd like you to write down your day. Well, what do you mean, Keith? Well, write down your day so that you can understand what your day looks like, so we can understand what expectations are. So, for example, I, as an employer, expect you to get good rest every single night. What does that mean, Keith? Well, if you're not resting well, you're not going to perform well tomorrow. So I hope you're targeting for those 6 to 8 hours of sleep. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, and you really empower that human and get them to write it down and track what they got. That's a wonderful way to come towards somebody, I think.
Well, high level humans understand that that's part of being high level.
I agreed. Yep, absolutely. Not everybody understands that though. And I'll say this, John, I would suggest to you, not a lot of employers would have that conversation with somebody. So for example, Marty, I'm hiring you, I'm paying you, I want you to sleep 6 to 8 hours a night. Why? Yeah, it's important because if you sleep, you're
one of my neighbors actually right across the lake.
Yeah,
he actually is on the board of directors with for SpaceX. Next time I see him, I'm gonna have to ask him about that. Hey, was this just to get people to be more aware?
Yeah.
He'll know. I mean, fuck. I mean, he's like 3 seats down from Elon at the boardroom.
Oh, that's fascinating. That's fascinating. Marty,
smart dude, man. I got to tell you, when this fucking guy speaks, people shut up.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Marty.
Yeah, no, first of all, that's cool, Johnny. I can imagine. Keith, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what I was about to say. I was going to say something, but I love y'all. It'd be hard to get a word in sometimes with y'all. Y'all just so brilliant, man. I'm just soaking up all the game. But I was definitely about to add something to the convo.
Well, I was saying to you that if I was to hire you, not if I was, but if we were, employee situation, saying, okay, here's your salary, here's your expectations. And then as the employer sitting down to the employee saying, here's my expectations of you to work in a high level performing organization. Right? You got to get your sleep number one. I'd imagine you look at your boss, like you go to your buddies going, fuck, this guy talked to me about sleep.
I tell all of my team members, if you need to take a nap, take a nap.
Yeah. Marty.
Oh yeah. I was going to say most like managers and bosses, they don't really care about what you have going on outside of the job. They don't care about
because they're a fucking manager. They're not living that way themselves.
Yep. Exactly.
You're right.
Exactly.
Managers don't fuck. Managers, generally speaking, are not high level humans.
Yes. Yeah.
You're right.
So guys, speaking of high level humans, I got a topic for us to wrap up the first hour here, which is the extra hour test. Imagine you wake up and suddenly, John, you'll love this, man. You wake up and suddenly, without warning, you've been given 1 extra hour today. Like, holy fuck, man. No meetings, no obligations, no expectations, just 60 free minutes. And don't answer, how would you use it? This is the extra hour test, a simple thought experiment that instantly reveals your true priorities, your values, and maybe even the gap between what you say matters and what your actions show. Jimmy, let's run this.
What's the one thing you'd do if you had an extra hour today, just for you? We often complain about not having enough time for what truly matters. But is time really the problem? Or is it our choices? Research suggests that our spontaneous decisions about how to use free time are a direct reflection of our core priorities, often more so than our planned activities. Your answer to this question is a powerful clue to what your soul is craving. It's a chance to see if you're truly living a life that's aligned with your values. It's time to stop guessing and start knowing what truly drives you. What will you discover?
Good morning, everybody. We're talking extra hour. John Petrocelli. I love high-level humans. So, John, what would you do with an extra hour?
Well, the way that I structure my day, I basically try to kind of create that my own way, right? So I really have 2 days, if you will, into one, because I'm up at 3. By 4, I'm kicking ass, right?
Love it.
So I've got traction. I'm productive. The first hour, as I'm moving around, I'm taking a dump. I'm learning, handling some shit. You could still call it productive, but not like real traction kicking ass. So from 4 until 11, boom, there's kind of day one, if you will.
Yeah.
And I take that nap till noon. Now I get up and I got from noon until 5, there's another one. So by taking a nap, it's almost like you think of a day as how much ground can you cover? So if you fucking sprint till you can't fucking breathe anymore, you lay down and you rest. That's my nap. And you get up and you fucking sprint again. If you look at the distance covered in a day, I'm kind of creating that, so to speak. That's the whole idea behind the way that I do my shit, is to create time. I try to be a time creator, not a time destroyer.
I know you are. That's what I've really embraced in learning about you and getting to know you. I'd like to think I'm the same way about that, trying to massage time out of my day, whereas our wives, Johnny and Terry and Lauren, like to waste time out of your day.
So the answer to that question is I don't have enough wind to get another hour in the day.
No, John. We would give our extra hour to our wives. That's what we would do, so that they could waste it on not understanding how much Melissa's rolling her eyes right now. That's what we do. We'd give the extra hour to our wives. Yeah.
But in general, yeah. I mean, people should think about this.
Yes. I agree. Marty, what would you do with the extra hour? Marty, what would you do? And I'm being very serious. And this is actually a good question to ask your clients, because this goes back to time. Right. And
I'd probably 1, take a nap, 2, create content, or 3, I'm sure there's, whatever I'm missing for today, or whatever I'm quote unquote pushed off to tomorrow, or we're going to put at a later date. I'd probably get that done. That could be anything.
What I would do,
that could be life expectancy too.
Yes.
There we go.
That's awesome. So you know what I would do, boys? If I had that extra hour, would be probably life expectancy work, whether solo or companion, or I'd sleep, rest. Because Marty, we ran a great clip yesterday with a young man, a young 96-year-old man, Charlie. Good time, threw it into my inbox a couple of days ago, and the dude was awesome. And he talked about, he's 96 and he's living. Right. He's not waiting to die. And one of the things he talked about was just getting his rest in. And he plans out his whole day. He's like, okay, I got 11 hours planned. I got to get my sleep in, got to do this. Right. So, and I was really, appreciated his response, but I would rest. I think, John, I got my day dialed in pretty good myself. Like, maybe not as dialed in as yours, but if somebody gave me that extra hour, I would intentionally use to rest, recharge, life expectancy. That's exactly what I would do.
Yes, I will honestly. I don't have any more wind to give another hour.
Yeah,
I would have to agree with you. I'd have to use it to recoup, because that's probably my biggest issue. Is that
me too?
That I tend to push that envelope a little too much.
Yes.
Where I'm like, okay, fuck. I'm gonna have to run a little slower in the back half. Like today's one of those days.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to run a little slower in the back half of my day.
Well, and I don't know about you, brother, but what happens for me in those moments is that when I'm having to run a little slower, I'm then finding myself talking to my brain to convince myself that it's okay to run slower and not chase what I like to chase, which is this feeling, this dopamine rush, this get after it feeling, right? So this is actually a different battle that I then have to go after. Okay, Keith, tone it fucking down.
Well, I like that, brother. You know what? How I kind of judge it is when I'm trying to get back up to speed.
Yeah.
If it's creating me anxiety, then I know that that anxiety is not welcome.
Yes.
And if I can't get up to speed, it's kind of like, it's like if you're not totally recovered, so to speak, you're not going to get to full speed.
Absolutely. Yep. 100%. 100%. Good morning, Tariana. Good morning, B-Drive. Good morning, everybody. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a lifestyle tip with Jon Andersen, and we're going to do Jon Andersen going to take off for a quick little piss break, and then we're going to reset hour 2. Marty, stick around for a little bit. Or you got to rock and roll, brother?
I got to rock and roll today.
Awesome.
I'm back to regular schedule Monday.
Yes. Well, listen, before we reset here with Jon, you have an awesome day, brother. I'm really glad you were here today and looking sharp. Have fun at the mall and have fun at the gym here today too.
Appreciate it, man. You'll see the content.
I know we will.
Have a good look, my brother.
All right, you too. I'll see y'all.
Awesome. All right, guys. Let's do this. Let's do lifestyle tip with Jon Andersen, Melissa, Jimmy, and then we'll reset for hour 2 here at Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Jon, and friends.
I can't tell you how often people say Jon's tips have helped them make real changes.
Folks tell me all the time his advice is what finally got them moving.
Yeah.
Speaking of, it's time for the big guy's lifestyle tip. Let's go, Jon.
All right, we've been talking a lot about time. And time, it's a commodity. You can't get it back. Sometimes you've got to figure out where you're wasting it. So if you run a business off of your phone, this may not apply to you, but I think the majority of you guys are probably, going to a job or, that your phone is more of a communication or an entertainment device. So that being said, the tip is this. Let's quantify how much time you possibly could be wasting in your phone somewhere. I'm not the guy to tell you. Ask chat. There's going to give you a screen time for the day, for the week. You can kind of decide how you want to see it, but look and see how much screen time you're actually putting into that little device, meaning the time that you're looking in that screen, if you're not running a business, the majority of that is wasted. That's the time that you could be doing something that would serve you or the ones you love, getting a better life, getting to a place where you are actually happier with what you do every day. Time is something that will totally change your life. But, excuse me, you got to ask yourself, are you spending this time in a way that's changing your life for the good or the bad? And so many people are investing so much time into their phone scrolling. It's all by design. It's an addictive thing. I get it. But that one little piece right there, take the time that you're wasting on your phone and invest it into something that's important into your life. And this will change your life. Now, if you choose, your life will keep going down the path it's going, and you're basically wasting the commodity, the one commodity that we cannot regain. So think about time. More importantly, where are you wasting it? And the tip is start with your device. How much time are you wasting scrolling? Rock and roll.
You made it through hour 1 with us.
Yeah.
Now stay locked in. Hour 2 starts right now.
Good morning, everybody. Hour 1 was stacked. Oh, baby, we had a big conversation. Many conversations with myself and Jon Andersen. Good morning. Welcome back to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Jon, and friends. The only morning show to help you get up, get after it every single day, 8 o'clock Eastern time, right here on YouTube, over there on LinkedIn, over there on X. I see everybody out there this morning with us live here on the show. Guys, we're going to get into hour 2 here. First of all, we're going to take a deep dive into into accountability. The accountability hack that's been the backbone of our success here in the lab. And it's probably not going to take very long. It's very obvious, but we're going to talk about it. It's the system that kept us consistent when motivation ran out. And we're going to break it down so you can plug it straight into your own morning routine. We're going to get into Reloaded, lightens it up with a wild ride back through history. Guys, we talked big airplanes earlier on in the show. Well, man, years ago, they used to make ice cream, churning the ice cream at 30,000 feet while bombs were being dodged. Yeah, you're going, what the hell are they talking about coming up in the show? From there, we're going to talk Morning Focus, where we draw the hard line between what is a buddy and what's an accountability partner, because one will grab beers with you, the other will actually call you out when you're slacking. And men, if you want progress, you need the second one in your corner. Get rid of the buddy and replace it with that accountability partner. And hey, you got your own free accountability partners every single day, right here at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Myself, Jon Andersen, we get up and get after it to help you guys get up, not hit the snooze button, and achieve your biggest, most audacious goals. And guys, we're going to close out strong with the community corner here today, celebrating the creators who are shaping the conversations right now across YouTube, LinkedIn, or Substack. And this is where we put the spotlight back on you, the audience, that makes this live morning show more than just entertainment. So guys, grab the refill, settle in. Hour 2 is starting. Boom, boom. It's starting right now, right here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. And guys, you guys can join the show with us live right now. The comments are open on the vertical stream. We got Michael there. We got Holroyd there. We got B-Drive there. We got Terriana down there. We have Melissa in the comments. We got, oh my goodness, we got Bernard out there as well. You guys need some honey? You looking for some honey? Man, we got a member in our community who has the ultimate honey subscription, Bernard at B-Drive Equipment. Go check out his website. Bernard will drop his website here in the comments. And if you're looking for honey, you can get it directly shipped to your house, not by Uber, not by helicopter, straight to your house on behalf of Bernard, artists at B-Driven Equipment. Johnny, how was your break?
It was good.
Yeah?
Needed that piss. I woke up really hydrated today.
Really hydrated today?
Dehydrated.
Oh, dehydrated. Oh, let's talk about it. What do you think it was?
Yesterday, I somehow thought that I was on my shit, but I guess I wasn't. It was a non-training day.
Yeah.
So usually those days I don't burn through waters quick. I honestly don't know. I think I was just so mentally focused. I burned a lot more water than I thought. I woke up like like that piss was actually very small. Normally that sucker just can't wait to get out.
Yeah. Hey, let's have a conversation right now about I'm just looking for my notes here.
Yeah, real quick. That's actually a good point we should bring up. You know, when your mental focus, and concentration, mental exertion, it can burn through water just as much as physical.
Of course, absolutely. Often not talk about or thought about. Like if you so there's days I got a heavy work day where my brain is on fire. Like I'm just like all cylinders firing. I will feel as exhausted at the end of the day than as if I did in the gym. And if I'm not hydrating, I feel it in my head. I feel foggy.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
But I didn't realize that until I started creating awareness around it and talking and leaning into my feelings, back to feelings again and going, fuck, why? What's going on here? I'm like, oh, right. I've been fucking going hard in my head for the last 8 hours or whatever it is.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Hey, let's talk accountability. Let's talk about the accountability hack. And I got a title here and I left it purposely open because I wanted to have a conversation with you about it. But the accountability hack that has continued to drive the success of what we're building here. And I'm going to just say this out in the open that I started with Nicole, and I like that you call it our project, because I agree with you. I love that. It's our project. It's our project. You know, I started this thing with Nicole and we started going off on this thing. And then as Nicole was exiting, Marty was happy to join. And as I loved it, right? We were talking with Ivan Marks a couple weeks ago and you're like, these guys are treading water at a good pace. And then I joined, which was you. And then we've taken this thing to the next level. No question about it. Right. But there's something going on between the two of us and this show that links to back accountability. It's this accountability hack. And I'm going to offer this. I feel like I've met somebody who sees the importance of what we're doing every single day, like I do. And I don't want to overcomplicate it, but that's what it is. I know when I go to bed every single morning, you're going to be here. And knowing that subconsciously, it's like that accountability partner that people don't recognize the value of that. We don't talk about it. It's like this unspoken expectation that we're both going to be here. We got a job to do.
100%. And you're very correct. But if we were to boil it down even further, right, it's the fact that when we had a conversation and I made a commitment to something, my word is fucking stone.
And I see that. But here's where I want to go. Because here's where I want to go with it. Folks sometimes can't determine the difference between a buddy and an accountability partner or business partner. The buddy's going to go for beers with you. You're going to talk bullshit. You know, you're going to, if I'm slacking, you're going to call me out. Because you're like, fuck Bills, we're building something together. This is our project. What the fuck, man? Like, what's going on? Like, I'm going to do with you. Because there's an expectation there. You follow what I'm saying here?
100%. You know, on that level too, you know, I will do this. I treat the people that are in my circle.
Yes.
They're all getting the same fucking treatment.
Yes.
Whether we're involved in business or we're friends, I'm going to fucking tell you.
Yes.
Hey, well, you know, I had a buddy that came and visited a while back and I'd seen him a while and we used to train together, you know, and he was here for a few days and I pulled him aside and said, dude, where the fuck did all these excuses come from?
Yeah. Oh,
I don't remember this. You know, I've had to pull him out of this a couple of times, but he's not a business partner. He's a buddy. We've never had business dealings together. So whether it's because, keep in mind, this is how I operate, and this is what I expect for the people around me if they want to be in my circle all the way.
Yes. Yeah.
I can't have that around me.
I didn't know if I'm trying to have a love fest here, but I didn't know if I was going to find somebody who kind of operated in a similar way that I operated.
Well, I've kind of giggled about that. So I was like, you know, fuck, Keith could have been fucking bouncing around for years trying to find someone that was actually going to understand the commitment that he was looking for.
Yeah. Because but again, it goes back to a gym partner or a life accountability partner, somebody who has your best interests in mind as you go through life, right? The buddy or the accountability partner, like something you taught me a couple weeks ago back. And I've used it a couple times now when I'm talking with some friends saying to me like, dude, why are you acting like an average man? And they look at me like their fucking mouth drops because nobody wants to be called that. It's like, I'm not average. Oh no. Okay. And then I'll fucking smirk and smile.
Take another fucking bite of that Big Mac.
Yeah. Well, I'll smirk and smile, or I'll talk, my brother, I'll pat his belly, and I'll say, "Oh yeah, okay, yeah, there you go. I love you, brother, but don't tell us about being the average. Don't bitch and complain about trying to go to 1 + 1 = 2 if you don't want to put the time in to do the math."
Well, and when we phrase it in a way that gives them a choice. Why are you acting?
Yeah. Yes.
You're not saying you're an average man. That's just like, fuck, that's conviction.
Yes.
Why are you acting like, I know that this is not what you do. Why are you doing this?
So here's a question for you. Maybe it came from your wife. Maybe it came from your buddy. Maybe it's something that you heard from our guest or me on the show. But when was the last time that you can recall in your head someone gave you, Jon Andersen, at 53 years old, gave you honest, uncomfortable feedback that actually paused you and moved you forward? Like almost taught an old dog new tricks.
Terry's pretty good at that.
So with my wife too.
Yeah, because she sees all the you know, she sees what other people don't see.
Yeah.
I mean, we're together all the time. And I don't remember the actual circumstance, but I need her to do that. Because a lot of times, you know, it's like, even though there's the people, I don't want excuses with the people around me and blah, blah, blah. I still hold myself to a higher standard. And sometimes she'll help me see, look, you're expecting something you can't expect people to be exactly like you.
Oh, okay, Maddie.
What's up, brother?
Morning, fellas.
Morning, brother. I'm glad you joined during this part of the conversation, man. Talking accountability right now and accountability partners and so forth. But Jon, I want to lean into that because
and real quick, I want to forgive me. I just want to say, I'm not trying to say I'm better than everybody, right?
No, I know.
Many people would view me as being something they don't want to be. Totally fine. I get it. But like when it comes to sometimes when, like perfect example, like the new business I just started, my partners, one of them already worked for me. The other one has never worked for me, but we traveled together, we competed together. So he even said, he goes, I understand what I was signing up for, just so you understand. Right. But on that level, even though he knows that, he's still going to operate at the best that he can. I have to realize, and Terry's really good at pointing out, say, look, he's really stepping shit up. You need to back up.
She reset you because you have a certain expectation. She recognizes that not everybody's going to be there, and it's not about comparing. It's about managing your expectations, actually. Yeah, managing your disappointment.
Was a lot of times is I'm kind of the head of the company, and so I have this. Okay, I'm gonna get this done. Keep in mind, when I unveiled the numbers for the first month, both of them were like, because we're on a Zoom call, and they both were fucking jaw dropped, and I was like, okay, now you understand why when I ask you to get me something, I ask for things. Yeah. Get them done quickly. Yeah. Now you see why. And of course, that's helpful because they see when I have this expectation, it's serving a major purpose of growth for the business.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. Matt, the difference between a buddy and an accountability partner. What's your point of view on that, brother?
So I think that there are people like Jon and like yourself who understand that you can be an accountability partner and drive the results, but also be a true friend, right? So that's the balance of that, and people understanding that that they're gonna have to step up and take care of business if you're going to be working with me, but I can be your friend too, and that's the balance that I look for when I'm looking for somebody to work with.
Yes.
The whole thing with accountability, and I know this doesn't really apply. I mean, it does apply, but you have to get there. The whole idea of having an accountability partner, I think people need to realize that's the fucking training wheels.
Yes.
You don't want those fucking training wheels on your bike. You want those things off.
Yes.
When you get it down, you're accountable to yourself.
Yep.
Like I'm not accountable to you, Keith. I'm accountable to the fact that I said I was going to do this.
Yep. Exactly correct.
And because I said I was going to do this, of course it works out fucking great because it's this, I'm carrying out what we decided we were going to do.
But I think that's actually the point, what you just said. And I think that's where we often confuse friendships, buddies, and accountability partners or big goals, tandem goals, is because I didn't have to convince you. I've watched by your actions. I've seen your history, your actions to produce evidence for me that you're looking at this the same way that I am. Right? It's not about convincing, or you're not doing this for me, I'm not doing this for you. And that it's like when you're on a team and you're all trying to win the championship. When I know that Matt goes home in the off season, he's putting the same amount of work that I am to come back in September to get the fucking job done. I'm not checking in on him. So back, Jon, that's the accountability partner, right? I'm not checking on you, not going, okay, did he get to bed at night to know he's going to be in good shape today? Or, oh, I know Johnny had a busy day, so he's going to be dragging his ass today. Like, I know you're going to be here. Simple as that, point blank, period.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that I agree that it has to come from within yourself, but having something outside of yourself to be accountable to. You started the conversation, Keith, with why we get up in the morning and do it. And I can just tell you from my experience that this has changed. That simple act of having this show, my show at 7:30 in the morning to get up for, has changed the trajectory of my day. And so I'm holding myself accountable to be here for you.
I'll create hyperbole with what you're going to say. No, it's changed your life, Matt Roof. I've watched it. I've watched it in real time since I've seen you. It's changed your life. The morning commitment has changed Matthew Roof's life, period, point blank. So wherever it ends up, I've watched it change your life. And I go back to that Wednesday morning when you're like, holy fuck, I made this commitment, but I had a mistake. I had a fall down that night, but you got up and you still keep going. Right. And it's changed your life. I've seen it happen.
It has absolutely changed my life, and it continues to change my life. So
yes,
regardless of what's going on outside of the work that I'm doing here, it has changed my life. Absolutely.
Yes. John,
well, and here's the thing. We're talking about accountability, right? And call it, all sorts of things fit under that umbrella, discipline, habits, blah, blah, blah. Call it what you will. The shit is transferable.
Yes.
Once you get it down, you just apply it to other parts of your life.
Yes.
And that's the thing. I mean, I can take, when I'm careful sometimes with what I say, because once it comes out of my fucking mouth, now it's got to happen.
Back to intention, right? Intentional, right? I love that word intentional, because if you're going to be intentional, that's why I've said it so many times, John, on the show. Humans, I think Petrocelli would agree with me. Humans are scared of intention, because when we speak about it, Matt, when you get on the show and you say something and somebody hears you, you're like, holy fuck, I guess I got to do it now. Right?
Got to do it. Got to live up to it. I'm speaking it out loud to the world. And if I'm not bullshitting, like Petrocelli, it forces you to not bullshit yourself as much as not bullshit the world, right? It's
I agree with that.
If you take it seriously.
A lot of people will speak it to the world and think that that's the ticket.
Yes,
but they're fucking so missing the boat.
Oh,
speaking it to the world, granted, it might feel fucking great when you say it, you're all empowered. But if you can't fucking honor the word and your commitment to yourself, it doesn't make any difference who you say it to.
Agreed.
I can tell you the extension of that is when you do that, because I've done it. I've made the commitment and been excited, but then not followed through. That causes the spiral of anxiety of, oh my God, now I'm not living up to this commitment. And if you're the person who cares, again, that causes even more drag on you. So I love what you said about being careful about what you commit to, because
you're so correct. And it gets easier to fuck up like that every time.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, people are making all these fucking claims by the week.
Yeah.
They're not making it to the end of the fucking week with this shit.
Well, then, John, Maddie, then you got your kids in the mix, and your kids are watching you. John, you say it all the time. They're not listening, they're watching. So the moment Matt and John says something and Keith says something and then they don't do it, like, well, if my dad's not doing, I guess I can be the same way.
Well, funny enough, when they were little, I used to hammer with that. Well, your word is everything. When you say you're going to do something, you have to do it, right? And then they would give that back to me. There were times when they're like, Dad, you said you're going to do this. And in my mind, what I said I was going to do doesn't even need to be done anymore, because something else covered that task or that responsibility. But fuck, I got to lead by example. Even if I'm doing something that doesn't need to be done, but I said I was going to do it, I got to fucking do it.
Well, it's interesting because John Petrocelli is leaning to exactly what you just said, John. By disclosing your goals and who you want to be to people who actually care about you, aka your kids, you can use cognitive dissonance to your advantage, because your kids, in that moment will magnify the dissonance for you and motivate you towards your goals. But Dad, you said you're going to do that. Oh shit, you're right. I said that last Thursday. I guess I got to do that now, right? Because that's
you gotta be prepared.
It gets ingrained into them.
Yeah, Maddie.
Yeah, right. You got to be prepared to follow through, because you're talking about long-lasting impact if you don't, in terms of what the lessons you're teaching. I've fallen into both sides of that coin in my life. There have been times my kids have had to hold me accountable, and there's times when I've had to do the same with them, you know, in terms of following through. So it's a two-way street. Yeah.
I'll share a little something though. This is kind of interesting. There was a few times in my life when the accountability to myself, I was falling short, and it was an addiction. It was basically a disease.
Yes.
With my pill addiction.
It was.
Yeah. And I had tried and failed so many times, and this was after a back surgery, and so I was on Oxycontin, and I was on a fucking massive dose.
Oh yeah.
And my mom was at our house for Christmas, you know, and she's always checking, how are you doing? You know, and, you know, I wouldn't really talk to her about pills, but she kind of knew what was going on, you know, and she says, you know, how are you doing with, you know, coming off the medicine they gave you, blah, blah, blah. And I basically, I'd already tried to come off that shit and failed a few times prior to her being there. And I was like, you know, I'm going to tell her this. And if I can't, if there's no higher fucking power for me, you know, I've tried and failed myself. My mom is like the fucking pinch hitter in my life. She's the rock. She's the one. She's the one that made me me. Without her, there is no me, literally. But anyway, so I told her, I said, yeah, the doctor's given me basically, he gave me kind of a step down thing because, you know, those pills, as much as I was on, they said, if you just cold turkey, you could have a seizure. Right?
Really?
Yeah. Where the amount that I was on. Fuck. Yeah. So I told her, I said, but you know, that's the fucking medical field. Jesus Christ. Yeah. They fucking tell you you're going to have a heart attack when there's nothing wrong with you. So take this statin, please. You know? So I told her, I said, yeah, the doctor gave me, you know, the step down, and realistically that was bull. He had told me about that a long time ago, but I told her this just so that she would be confident that it was going to be okay. And I said, yeah, when, you know, I'm going to basically get after the holiday's over, I'm going to get off this because, you know, when you're going through that detox, you're not fucking celebrating anything.
No.
What did I do? I fucking went to bed one night and said, you're going to suffer for as many days as you need to suffer. You're coming off this shit. And it was the thought of my mom asking me, how is it going? And me telling her that I couldn't do it, that allowed me to stay in that fucking bed.
Because you were scared the next time your mom asked you the question that you were not.
I didn't want to have to tell her.
Or lie.
Yeah. I didn't want to have to tell her I didn't do it. So there's rare occasions where, you know, I think in a disease type scenario, there's always going to, because I'm accountable to myself in 99.9% of issues in my life. But that's the one time I can remember that being accountable to somebody made a huge difference.
Thanks for sharing that, John. That's Maddie.
Yeah,
has to be the right
big.
person.
I've been through my own types of situations with that in terms of coming off of substances and addictions. And I can tell you that I think two things that I heard from you. One is I decided I'm going to sit in this bed for as long as I need to. It's got to start there. If you don't decide to do it, just saying I'm going to do it for that person, I'm going to do it because for that person. You have to decide for yourself that that's what matters. And I've been through that. I've tried to get off of stuff because I didn't wanted to do it for Heather or for the kids until I was ready to say this is for me and I'm going to do it for me. It didn't stick. So that's my experience. But yes, having that outside motivation sometimes can open your eyes, but it's got to come from inside to say, I'm going to make this change. I'm holding myself accountable to a higher standard.
Yeah. So on that level, I think the whole accountability thing with people need an accountability buddy. I think that they got to realize these are training wheels. You don't want to fucking leave training wheels on your fucking bike into your adulthood.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, you know, my training partner quit, so I stopped going. Jesus Christ. You're going to be singing that fucking song for the rest of your life.
Yeah, yes. Using that analogy and looping back to the other conversation before I jumped on, which was the bosses, the managers who want to give you want a list of what you accomplished this week or whatever. I think that's a fascinating thing. I mean, those people are people who are invested heavily in the training wheels, right? Without the training wheels, they're giving you the training wheels, right? So when they did let the training wheels go, people who have that mindset are like, okay, now I'm not needed. I don't know what to do because I can't push myself forward or whatever. Without that, I can't stand that when there's that kind of, but I mean, just that management style, that's not how you lead an organization. That's not how you lead people by having them write down their list of accomplishments. Sure, you want to review it. You want to have assessments and talk about what are we doing as a goal, but just to have you write it down as an activity to try to hold you accountable, I think that's pretty weak leadership ultimately.
Hard to argue with that. Hey, quick question, both of you guys. John, before you go, quick question for you. Have you
6:30? Holy shit!
I know, just good. Hey, yeah. I'm asking the question of both of you guys. In your journeys of addiction and trying to quit things, did you ever find yourself asking somebody for help? I don't need a name, but just using those words, I need some help. And I'm throwing it out there because I can see some of the comments here. We as men, humans, often are afraid to ask for help. And I got no judgment about it. I'm just curious. Like, I'll start with you, Matt. Matt, did you?
Yeah, I will tell you that when I was at my lowest point, until I could say I need help from somebody or something else. Getting help from somebody else isn't saying they're going to be my accountability partner, but getting started, talking outside. That's how I ended up in the therapeutic relationship that I've been in for 5+ years with my therapist, who helped me get through those issues. Being able to be vulnerable enough to ask for help is usually a pretty good sign that you're ready to make the commitment to yourself. And that did absolutely happen to me. That
and I'm suspecting
I can't do it alone. I tried too many times to do it all alone.
And I'm suspecting, John, when you ended up in that bedroom in bed, you looked in your own mirror, is what I'm hearing from you, and you asked yourself for help, which was, I need to help myself by recognizing that I'm staying here in this bedroom in my prison until I can go and look myself in the mirror again and get over what I'm battling. Would that be a fair assessment of mine?
Yeah, I would say that's, I can't say that I actually did that, but there's an element to that for sure, because you're honoring yourself. But
that's what I mean, yes.
But when it comes down to it, when I make that decision, it's because I recognize that my interests are not being fucking high all the time.
Back to interests, isn't it, Jon Andersen?
My interest is pursuing my dreams. My interest is being a better father. My interest is accomplishing the things that make me feel way fucking higher than Oxycontin.
Yeah.
So I got to suffer for 3 days. I think that one might have been more. Got to suffer for 3 days. Sometimes you got to fucking eat a shit sandwich, and I had a few of those. But, if you got to eat a shit sandwich to honor your interests, if they put it like this, if you're not willing to eat the shit sandwich, you're not interested enough in what you say you're interested in.
I got to be frank with both of you guys, not John or Steve, but just Frank. I've been standing here for the last 30 some odd minutes, just covered in goosebumps, because I'm really moved by our conversation. I really am. I got some mist behind my eyes, because this has been a very vulnerable conversation for the last 20 some odd minutes about accountability, about help, about just a journey of life, frankly. Right. And John, I've heard your story 1,000 times, but when I hear it 1,001, it's like I heard for the first time. And Matt, I've heard yours a number of times, but it's just, I don't think we as humans can hear them enough, because there is somebody going through this right now. I had this conversation with AJ when I was going through my journey of divorce and life and figuring shit out, not knowing who I was and learning empathy. And I said to him, and I'm like, why can't people get shit sorted out? He goes, Keith, just sometimes it's just such a profound statement, is like, the switch just haven't gone off in somebody's head yet. And I know it's so simplified, but John, the switch went off for you that one morning going, I got to stay in this fucking bedroom. Matt, it went off for you. It went off for me. And it's just, we never know when the time's going to happen. That's why I love this show. Somebody might hear something you said, Anderson, or you, Matt, or something I said, and they're going, what, today's the day I'm fucking making this change. Not tomorrow, not something, but today. Because I can do it.
Yeah, it is fascinating, because I understand the idea of the light switch, going on. There is a moment, that happens, right? That catalyst. But
I've been through divorce, and
I do think being able to say I need help is an important skill, even if that's help from yourself, from a higher power, from a therapist, from whatever. Is vital, because people do want to help.
Yes. Well, the thing about it is when I say I didn't ask for help, it's because I've built myself on the pillar of discipline. Mm-hmm. And I felt like, not if I really needed to ask, I would have asked, but I was like, this is me. This is what I do. Mm-hmm. This is like the ultimate display of you doing what you do. You're not under a bar. You're not pulling a truck. You're not on a bodybuilding stage. You're not walking out for the Tokyo Dome. But do you have the balls to stay in bed for 3 days?
I bet that was harder than some of the other ones.
Oh, dude. Like, well, the funny thing is a lot of times you don't even realize that your interest has changed. Like I was getting ready. I'm packing. I'm going to Europe for it's like a 3 contest loop. And so I was going to be gone for about 10 days. And I'm basically packing, getting ready, and I'm trying to come off the fucking pills. And I'm moving around the house, getting ready to go. The fucking taxi's getting ready to come pick me up. And all of a sudden it's like, I get to that place because, I'm trying to come off these pills where I'm like, I don't even want to go. And I was like,
I don't even want to go.
I was like, dude,
that's a fucking statement.
I was like, fucking dude, you are fucking living you didn't know how to dream this big when you're a fat little fucker. Now you don't want to go.
Goosebumps.
And I was like, whoa. I was like, all right, you're gonna, in a weird way, I caught the interest, but the addiction still got a hold of me. Like, okay, you're gonna manage this addiction through this trip, get back, and then you're gonna fucking end it.
So wait, you did that 3 days that you're talking about in bed while you were on the road?
No. I'm saying I was gonna get through the trip managing my pills, and I was gonna come home and do it. So even though I had the clear, like what happened here, where your interest is completely shifted, that fucking addiction still basically was able to convince me to keep fucking going, which I did, and then the hard part is then really that little scenario was just to help me recognize that my interest had switched, because then you're on the road, you're doing well, fucking you're high as a kite, not only on the pills, but on the life that you're fucking living, and you come home and all you want to do is keep going. And the addiction says, look, the pills helped you fucking do what you did over there, so there's all these stages to trying to get to that mental position where you can actually understand your interests enough and realize there's nothing that's more important than ending this.
Right. What's ballsy to me is how many times I know from my own experience, how many times I said something like, when I get back from this trip or come Monday or whatever, and then it comes and I didn't hold myself accountable. What's balls to me is that you did come back from the trip and you did do it. That's the ultimate in self-discipline. As a person who's been through addictions and substance use, it's so easy to make the plan for the future. We talk about someday, one day, whatever. But you came back and did it.
Well, and the crazy part
I'm sorry, I don't mean to. I needed to say, this is it. Like now, today, boom, this is it. I can't.
Well, I mean,
say someday, Monday, when I get back from a trip. When mine happened, I was like, today, right now, and I went through it. And
there's no question. It's just slippery slope, brother.
When I hear you talk about it, John and Matt, it reminds me of Marshall Mathers' story when he talks about beating his addiction and how he had to reteach himself how to rap again and write again, because John, everything he had done previous to that was under the influence. So, and he talked about, and it was fascinating to me because he had to relearn basically. And I think John kind of, in some ways, he kind of maybe said to himself what you did, which was, I don't want to do this, but wait a minute, what the fuck, man? You're waiting your whole life for this. Like, what's going on here? And it was like that wake up moment, right? That something got in the way of your dreams, right? And it was that moment for you. And then you had to relearn how to do everything.
Yeah.
Fascinating conversation. I know you got to rock and roll, brother. We're going to get you out of here, Johnny. Appreciate you, man. Good conversation. Great week of shows. I'm off to Saskatchewan later today in about an hour. So, I might be sending you some pictures and imagery from the backwoods of Canada here later today.
Right on.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us today, Matt. It's always good to see you, brother.
Yeah, dude.
Absolutely.
It's great. I appreciate your inspiration in the story, and have a great loop.
Absolutely.
That's it. Right on, my brothers. Have a good loop.
All right, Johnny.
See you on today's Friday, isn't it? I guess.
We'll see you on Monday. Yeah, we'll see you in a couple days. All right, pal. All right, Johnny's out of here. I did see Maddie. Can you stick around for a little bit?
Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome. Let's do it. We got Maddie sticking around. And I saw that, Maddie, we have the resident BSer joining us in the studio here. It looks like Petrocelli is joining us in a few moments, which is awesome. I caught your show today. Good show this morning. Hey guys, Matt and Roof's joining me right now on Mornings in the Lab. And if you've been sticking around for a conversation, Matt started a show on the network, I don't know, a couple months ago called Kindness Rising, 7:30 Eastern time. It is an evolving, awesome show. Its whole purpose is to help you guys get up on the right side of the bed with kindness. He talked about the 6 strings of kindness today. Matt, what are the 6 strings of kindness?
6 strings of kindness are kindness, action, balance, curiosity, self-awareness, and growth. They're what we talk about on Kindness Rising. We're weaving everything through those. I appreciate, Keith, that you encouraged me in that way to think about the pillars of conversation that are going to be what I lean into. And as my journey has unfolded over 55 episodes, 11 weeks, I'm finding myself growing more and more into that, as you said, discovering myself and changing who I am. It's freaking amazing.
Well, you know, guys, and I'll throw it out there. I think when humans often think of kindness, I think of it's like this soft kind of this soft pussy kind of, it's fucking kind, he's soft. Well, in reality, guys, kindness to me is kindness is actually disguised as the word called action. Because when you interchange kindness or action, magic actually happens. It's true fucking story, man. I tell my kids all the time. Just say thank you. Say thank you and please, and watch how the world changes in front of you.
It's amazing, right? I talk about the difference between kind acts, which are wonderful, but sometimes they're performative, and acting kindly. There's there's a difference, right? And you're talking about acting kindly. It doesn't mean that you roll over. It doesn't mean that you don't have boundaries. It doesn't mean you're not powerful. As a matter of fact, it's a powerful tool, especially in leadership, through things like tactical empathy and just being an open and honest and curious person with people. It's actually a powerful leadership advantage.
I completely agree with you. And you could weave it even back to the Elon conversation. If you're a manager and you're like, hey, Matt, what did you do this week? Well, there's probably a kind way to have that conversation with somebody that gets the same results instead of I'm a dick, I'm your boss, I want this from you by this point of view. Okay.
Well, I mean, because I've experienced it both ways. I never minded giving a weekly update, a quick written weekly update. A lot of it is in what's the purpose behind it and how does that leader or manager use it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Is it used strictly as a tool to try to hold you accountable, but I'm not really going to read what you said, or I'm not going to listen to what happened and try to lead and guide you or ask curious questions to understand. I'm only asking you strictly for the purpose of trying to keep you on your toes and aware that I'm watching. There's a difference. Yes.
Hey, Maddie, before Petro joins me, I had something I wanted to throw on the table, which is kind of a fun topic here this morning. And I know you and I like to have fun conversations. Jimmy, I think you're kind of prepared for this one, but did you know, I didn't know this, Melissa threw this on the table for us this week, that during World War II, and before they're talking World War II, this is fascinating me. And I'm Uncle Keith with curious brain and like fascinating shit. Dude, during World War II, pilots actually churned desserts in the air. Did you know this?
They what?
Yeah.
Say again. Did what?
I'm going to read you the hook, and then Jimmy's going to run the clip, and we're going to fucking just banter about it for a couple minutes because this is bizarre to me, brother. It is actually bizarre. Did you know American pilots once turned their fighter planes and bombers? I bet you Holroyd or Good. For some reason, I feel like Holroyd or Good Time knows this. I just feel like they do. But anyways, American pilots once turned their fighter planes and bombers into flying ice cream machines. Today, we're going to talk about the story of how World War II soldiers used turbulence, freezing altitudes, and pure ingenuity to churn out ice cream mid-flight.
September 1944, Peleliu Island, Pacific Theater. The United States Marine Corps Fighter Squadron VMF-122 had a problem. Not the Japanese, they'd been neutralized. Not their aircraft, the problem was boredom. Squadron Commander J. Hunter Reinberg looked around at his men. They were stuck on a humid tropical island with no fresh food, no refrigeration, and no real mission. These were Marines. They were used to making do, but this was different. This was about morale. and Reinberg had an idea.
Yeah, he had an idea that if they could strap cans of milk and cocoa in the tail turret at 22,000 feet, it would give them frozen desserts because of the minus 30 degrees Fahrenheit temperatures and constant turbulence. Dude.
Okay.
Resourceful and resilient.
Salt. Yeah. And what did they do with the ice cream? That's the question.
They ate it.
They ate it?
Yeah. So, but here was, I think, to me, what was most fascinating about this was that, boredom or sitting around can encourage us to find ways to be resourceful, can find ways to show acts of resilience, right? So, if soldiers can make ice cream in a bomber turret under fire, man, you got to look around yourself and see that you don't have an excuse not being able to achieve something pretty significant today, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, I got to survive this mission so I can have my vanilla cone when it's all done.
So when I saw this come across our production desk, I was like, "Fuck, this is a cool story, man." It's ridiculous, actually.
It is absolutely ridiculous. I love those, but I'm sure there's scientific engineered mind people, and
right.
Let's have trying to find ways to have fun in the midst of hardship is huge, right? And so it's a form of resilience, being able to laugh or do something creative. I'm sure it did give them something to focus on rather than the risks they were taking on their entire life. So
absolutely.
That's crazy.
It's pretty cool. Hey guys, we got Petro and we got Petro rock and roll. If we got Petro, let's bring him in. Let's bring him into the show here. I see he's tossing the ball around. Dr. Petrocelli, what's going on, brother? How are you?
Okay, how are you guys?
Waiting for Petro's points. Yeah. I'm working on the segment opener for. Oh, here, notice this, Matty. Our resident, pseudo co-host now has a Phillies hat on. And what shirt do you have on today, brother? What is that? Oh, it's an Adidas shirt.
Oh, just Adidas. But I caught this ball fair and square and arm wrestled that 7-year-old kid. This ball is mine.
Jon Petrocelli, the bullshit professor, joining us from the Carolinas today, arm wrestling the 7-year-old from the States.
Yeah, I really love the topic today. This accountability was just huge, man.
What does it mean to you, Jon Petrocelli? What does it mean to you? What does it mean to you?
Well, I think that's really where the heart of goal attainment is, because if you keep your goals, if you keep who you want to be, who you want to become, what you want to stay accountable to, if you just keep that to yourself, then you only have yourself. And I do think I agree with Rufy. I think it has to come from within. But the hack, I wanted to add to my hack that I suggested. So I guess as a social psychologist, I would think of this, but I think when you publicize your goals, you share your goals with people that actually care about you. You tell them, all right, I'm training for a marathon. I'm trying to lose a few pounds. I'm writing a new book or something. But they will be the very first people to ask you, hey, how's it going? How's that? How are you making progress towards it? And that alone it can be motivating. But the thing I wanted to add is I wouldn't necessarily share goals and who you want to be with people who don't have your best interest in mind, your enemies, your people, maybe your competitors. Wouldn't necessarily share it with them, but I think thinking about them.
Oh.
And the fact that they don't want to see you succeed, or they want to, see you fall on your face, that can create dissonance, this uncomfortable feeling that, all right, I said I have this goal, I said I'm going to do this, and I'll tell you, thinking about them and the fact that they don't want to see you reach, who you want to be and what you want to do, that can be motivating, because that's going to create a lot of discomfort between your goal and the fact that you might not be doing anything towards it. So I've used that hack a lot. I think I've used it my entire life. I just think, and maybe one of the reasons why I'm so competitive, but sharing with people who care about you, and also thinking about who wants to see you fail. That's always been enough for me. And I know there's lots of ways to address it, but I think for me, that has worked wonders.
Well, John Petrocelli, I'll tell you, man, when I got on this show, before I met any of you guys back in November of 2023, and when I first started this whole journey of coming back into the world, and I said to my colleague at the time, Roland, and I said, hey, I'm going to start this live show. It's going to be 1 o'clock. It's going to call Live in the Lab with Keith Billis. And when I sat on that and I came in front of the microphone and there was nobody listening, but all it needed to be was one person listening, John, and I made this statement that I was going to be here every single day at this certain time. That to me was my declaration. This here and that camera was my accountability tool that when I said it, I'm like, okay, somebody heard me say I'm going to show up tomorrow. I got to be here tomorrow. And then that moved to my morning situation. And I know even just with meeting with Matt, this tool is my accountability mirror. It works for me every single day.
Absolutely, having something on the calendar and having a commitment to somebody else. But John, I've used the I'll show you method a lot to get motivated by that. I think that you have to be able to find it within yourself, but sometimes you get that extra little spark of competition going, or of someone pushing against somebody's doubts about you, right? Don't doubt me, I'll show you. As long as it's done in a healthy way, because I've also fallen into the trap of I'll show you, and I showed you so hard that I wrecked myself. So there's balance in that too. So,
absolutely.
Those are. I love having a thing that you can have every day and a commitment to somebody else, and the other side of the external motivation, which is I'll show you, don't doubt me, I can do anything. So those are good.
Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing more satisfying than doing something that someone said you can't do it. You aren't going to be able to accomplish that.
I had a dude.
Nothing more satisfying than that.
I had a dude when I was starting my journey in the work world. I think it was maybe early 20s, and I was trying to get a job at Xerox. Matt, you guys remember back in the day, Xerox sales company, and it would have been like the best sales job ever I could get. Well, I remember going to the meeting, and I dropped. I said, I remember the guy's like, he talked about my values, my attitudes, and said, I'm going to show up, and I used the word shit in my response. Like I'm going to not put. Well, I wasn't being rude, like putting up with shit, but it's like I was going to show up and just do my work all the time. Well, I left that meeting. The guy said to my boss, but the guy was going to hire me at the time, saying I wouldn't hire him because he's too rough around the edges. He's not going to make it. I heard that. And I remember when I did make it, when I went and cashed my check for millions of dollars and put it into the bank, I drove by the building where he worked, and I sat inside of my Tesla Roadster and drove by the building, and I stuck my finger up and looked at his office window, and I just gave him the finger. I said, not going to make it? All right. Yeah, that was it. That was my fuel.
Yeah. It's a great story.
100%.
It's a great story.
Petro, what else you got for us this week, brother? And I got a hard stop in 7 minutes because old Uncle Keith and Chief's got a road trip today. What do you got for us, Petro?
Yeah, well, the other thing is, I love that video that you shared with us on Thursday, the 96-year-old.
Oh, yes.
I actually haven't shared a video more than that video with everyone that I know. I absolutely love that.
Me too. Yeah, I'm showing it to my dad today. We're driving out. We're spending time together. I'm showing it to my dad because my dad's 83, 82. But I hope my dad can be that 96-year-old because it reminds me of that 96-year-old guy.
Yeah, so I spent at least an hour trying to figure out who this guy is. Because I figured it's probably a new video because he's talking about Elon's mom and at the end.
Yes.
And I couldn't find. I'm like, somebody drop a name here. I would love that. I think we should try to get that guy on this show.
Dude, we are on the same page. So then it's our mission. So you know who found him for us? This is why I love our community, Matt, is that we're top of mind with our community here. So Charlie, good time, sent me the video a couple of days ago. He's like, Keith, I think you'll enjoy this. Enjoy it. I fucking loved it. So I was happy to share it. And I'm with you, Petro. We're going to try to find the guy. I want to find him and get him onto the show. 100%. Melissa, we have a mission. Rahima, Melissa, Jimmy, we got a mission. We're going to find this guy. And you know what's going to be? I hope that he's not AI.
Oh,
Whoa.
Petro. Matt, you just saw the wind go out of Petrocelli's head.
It better not. It better not be. Oh.
Yeah, I love that one as well. Absolutely. And what else you got, Petro? You got a third point for me today?
Well, yeah, I guess what's bugging me. I mean, I'm curious what's bugging you guys. So this happens probably once a week. And I'm guessing this happens to you probably 10 times a day, Keith. I get people, just random people, I don't know, shooting me emails with a list of questions, like 25 questions, half of which I'm thinking, well, you can look these things up yourself, and they're writing an article for Wall Street Journal or Harvard Business Review or something like that, and they want to ask me some questions, and I'm thinking, you're trying to offload your work to me here, man. And I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, that's your job. And so I've been using big fat no, or I don't even respond. I don't know why people think that I'm just sitting around waiting to do somebody else's work. Keith, I'm guessing with all of that you have done, among so many other things, sort of educating us on all of these new technologies coming out, I'm guessing you're getting these types of requests to do other people's work all the time.
100%. I got a call from somebody yesterday, actually, who I know he wanted me to do his work for him, and I haven't called him back.
Yeah. Doesn't that bug you? I mean,
well, yeah, I think it just kind of comes to territory, though. So I hear you. I think for me, though, I'm just continuing to learn the currency of time, right? And as I'm aging, I'm just being more selective with how I put my time, where I put my time, and just being tactful on how I'm responding, really. And the fellow that reached out to me yesterday, not that I didn't call him, not that I purposely didn't call him back, I just ran out of time.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, but some I get emails and texts from people sometimes, and I'm like, really? Like, why don't you just ask ChatGPT for that? But I also know why people reach out too, though.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking, like, maybe some people approach me because I'm an academic and they think academics do all kinds of things for free, and I'm thinking, not this one. I'm not.
What is an interesting point, though? Because here's what I find in a world of the world we live in now, where knowledge has value associated to it. So we're all of similar age. We all grew up with lawyers having the knowledge that we'd have to pay for. Yet, to your point, John, it's like, well, I can go ask Matt, Keith, or John, and they'll just give me that knowledge for free. But yet, if we were a lawyer, there's this expectation that, well, Matt won't answer that for me because Matt's going to be on the clock. He might give me 15 free minutes, but don't you see that, John? Where we as humans, we the moment we know that they're a lawyer or like a doctor, we put our own guardrail up on what we're going to ask or what we're going to expect in return. Matt, I see you nodding there.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the model that we've established with those professions. But we just happen to have that specialty knowledge. So I think it's about boundaries. Sure, you want to help people and you want to lead people in the right direction, be kind and empathetic about it. But you're like you've said, Keith, time is your currency. So you're going to give time to this. No, I don't know. Sometimes I ignore. I can tell the difference between the ones I really like to ignore, and it's like, this is pure just spam bullshit, versus people who have genuinely reached out and are looking for help or want some direction for something. You can tell the difference, So I try to be as responsive as possible, even sometimes when I say, this isn't for me, thank you anyway, that kind of thing. But,
and I genuinely enjoy helping. I know you do, Petra, and you do, Matt. Yeah. So I genuinely enjoy helping. So I've had to teach myself, actually, John, over the last few years, frankly, that sometimes I just can't help. Right. And that to me is really where it's funny. I told Jimmy Melissa that I had a hard stop at around 10-ish Eastern time. And in my messages here, I'm seeing the timer come up and the clock. I know I'm working up with my.
We can talk forever about this stuff, but I love what you're saying about discernment. That's what I believe is an important skill of a leader too, is discernment, being able to tell and know which ones are genuine and worth following through, and the ones that are bullshit, get them out of your face.
I want to ask you boys, what do you got going on this weekend? Petro, starting with you, brother. And again, I've said this so many times, John. I love this segment on Fridays with you jumping in. Just for the record, I love it. It's happened so unofficially, but it's turned into this thing, and I love it because you're paying. And you've heard me say it on the show, and I think Matt too. I love knowing you're in the background because I feel like I have this. I have Grok, but I also have, and Johnny too. We have Grok, our official AI. We also have our official bullshit professor too. So when I hear somebody say something, true story, John, I look at the comments waiting for you to chime in with whether he's going to go bullshit or
bullshit. Well, I like that. I like the bullshit rather than a fact checker. You're a bullshit checker. That's amazing.
I love it. Yeah, I'm listening carefully.
I know. Petro, what do you got going on this weekend, brother? What are you doing? What do you got going on?
I got some fun this weekend. My daughter and I, we're going to see Judas Priest and Alice Cooper.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Fucking.
We saw Alice Cooper a few years ago. He's puts on a great show. So yeah, we're heading back to that.
I forget the lead singer of Judas Priest, but he just put on a pretty good performance singing a national anthem. I saw that came up in my feed somewhere.
Yeah. Rob Halford,
Halford. Yeah.
Your daughter's 11, no?
No, she's 16.
16, okay.
Yeah, she's a classic rocker, man.
Dude, that is awesome, man. That is awesome. John Petrocelli, Judas Priest, and who else?
Alice Cooper.
Alice Cooper, man, going today. That's awesome. That's fun. What about you, Maddie? What do you got going this weekend, brother?
So we're headed up to Rochester to see Meryl. We're taking Heather's parents. We like to go up. This is a nice time of year. So I'll be cooking all day today because I got the orders. I want this. I want that. I'll be doing some stuff, getting ready to head up to see Meryl at Brockport and just enjoy a fall weekend and getting ready for next week on Kindness Rising.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I am in the next hour or so. I'm actually hopping into Good Time the Rental. I'm leaving the 2008 275,000 kilometer Jeep in my yard. That is now turning more rusty than green, but I still love my fucking Jeep. And gonna go get ourselves a rental. Guys, people just don't understand the value of rentals, man. I'm telling you. For $102, 102, I'm renting a car for 3 days, unlimited mileage, don't got to worry about anything with the car, no car payment, no insurance, just $102. And I get to drive a car for 3 days and return it. Like, I'm telling you guys, there's value in renting cars. But anyways, I'm off to see my boy. We got an 8-hour drive west into small town Saskatchewan. Petro, you've been to Saskatchewan, haven't you?
No.
Okay, Matt.
Montreal. That's it.
That's right. Yeah, Matt, you been to Saskatchewan?
No, I've never been that far west.
So Saskatchewan would be like Nebraska or Oklahoma. It's very flat, not much going on there. And I'm going to a very small community of, I think, about 6,000 people. And that's where Carter is playing his junior hockey. He started his junior hockey career. So tonight's the home opener. So myself, my dad, and my son's girlfriend, we are jumping into the car and we're heading west.
So he's back on the ice. His tongue's
thanks, Matt. Yeah. And we don't even know if he's going to make the lineup because it's the opening lineup, right? And he plays D, and we both know Matt. So do you, John, because you're a hockey guy, right? So, young D are not D needs some time to flourish. So we'll see if he makes the opening lineup tonight. But we're going to go and see him and hang out with him. And yes, good time. I do need a helicopter. So I'm building the show, man, so I can give myself an airplane so I can fly around and go hang out with all you guys and we can do fun shit. If we had an airplane, Matt, I could come down, pick you up, and we can go see Petro and hang out with Petro and his daughter at Judas Priest and Alice Cooper.
Judas Priest and Alice Cooper. Yeah,
pick up good time and B drive along the way and go get global too. True story. Awesome. Okay, guys, well, listen, I have nothing but, I'm saying it, love and respect and appreciation for both you guys. I have a lot of admiration. I thoroughly enjoy these Friday shows and love when you join Maddie and love when you join Petro, and we're going to keep doing them here. So you guys be safe. Both you be safe in your travels, and I know we'll be talking along the way, okay?
All right,
and when we get, be safe. Good luck to Carter.
Cool. Thanks, Matt. Thanks, John.
Right, cool. Yep.
All right, guys. Melissa and Jimmy, we're going to work towards wrapping it up here on the big show here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends here on the Free For All Friday. What a fun show. Holy. Hey, Grok, was it fun? Yeah. Grok is frozen because I've been avoiding Grok for the whole show. But anyways, guys, what a fun show here. I'm going to work towards wrapping it up here today on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. I see everybody's comments. Good time. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you so much. I love that you have a lot of interest in our show and what we're doing here. And I will keep you guys appraised. Maybe I'll send you maybe I'll post some stuff inside the Mornings in the Lab community of my travels. So if you're not a member of the Mornings Lab community, I would invite you to do that. Or maybe I won't. We'll just see. Or join us on the socials. We're going to figure it out along the way here. But you guys are awesome. And I want to close with this. You guys all have a choice where to spend your mornings. You do. There are a gazillion places. It's a true story. A gazillion places. Yep. Gazillion. True. A gazillion places you can go spend your time. But many of you choose to spend your time daily right here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends and Kindness Rising with Matt Roof. And I just want to sincerely say thank you for doing that. If you guys don't show up, we don't have a show to put on. So I appreciate you guys showing up. We're looking to make this thing bigger and better every single day. I want to send some love and thanks to my producers, Jimmy, Melissa, and Rahima. All of you guys behind the scenes are making this show what it is. So I thank you guys for that. And guys, you know where we're at. We are going to be back here at 8 o'clock Eastern time on Monday in a couple of days from now. Myself, Jon Andersen, maybe Marty. I'm suspecting Marty will be here. We're back at his homestead. Melissa, Jimmy, the whole gang. So lots of love from me to all of you on behalf of the handsome chief. Who's that guy? Oh, right. That's me. I'm the handsome chief. I'm Keith Billis. I'm out of here. Good morning. Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. I'm sorry. Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Jon, and Friends is out of here. Have a good weekend, everybody. Ciao.